Hello, my dears and darlings, my loves and my lovers, and welcome to the first official video about Heroines in Disguise, the role-playing game. I know I'm going to try to keep this one really short and direct and to the point and give you just the very basics about what this game even is. So first of all, the setting. I am trying to create a setting that is based on the sort of archetypal, imaginary, fictional village that Renaissance festivals are built to imitate. So we're in imaginary England, in the pretend 16th century-ish. You're in a small seaside town that's got some taverns, some shops, some businesses, and your character is from there, lives there, is there year-round. But this is the one weekend a year when the royal family comes to visit your village. And so they throw a festival. Now you happen to be, your character that is, happens to be a member of a covert underground organization called Heroines in Disguise. And you get sort of training during the year, but this is really the one weekend you get to kind of use those skills. You see, the heroines are secret agents for the royal family. Much like the angels, heroines in disguise, are secret agents for the crown in our narrative stories on stage. You know, the king's jewels, the queen's chest, the princess's purse, which, by the way, I am going to be writing those stories in as modules you can play. So when you play the game, you've got to figure out what kind of heroine you are. And I wanted to keep it simple, so I went with more or less the original four colors: red, yellow, green, and blue. And those four categories each have four characteristics. It's the same four. I realize that sounded a little confusing. The four characteristics are brains, brawn, beauty, and bravery. Now, when you choose your heroine color, again, red, yellow, green, blue, that's going to inform the math, the statistics, the sort of mechanical part of how the game works in terms of which of those four characteristics, those four qualities, you use the most, rely on the most, work with the most. That's going to tell you how to roleplay the character, and it's also going to make a difference for the mechanics, by which I mean the actual stuff you do with your hands when you're playing this game. For those of you who are new to role-playing games in general, think of it as collaborative storytelling with an element of chance. So you get your friends together around a table and you pick your heroine in disguise category, and that gives you a little bit of math to work with. Trust me, a very little bit of math to work with, keeping it very simple. And then you use those boundaries to create a story together, to tell a story together. Much like we created our show to tell stories on stage together. So, each angel category is kind of an expert in one of the four things, but I do want to point out, you're not bad at any of these things, okay? There's no zeros, there's no negative numbers, everyone's got a positive score in all four characteristics: brains, brawn, beauty, and bravery. It's just which one do you sort of rely on the most. So again, mechanically, what you do with your hands. In the ideal version of the game, you have a little bag. It looks so much like a couple of the props we use on stage, ha ha ha. And in each little bag, each player has their own. There are 7 tokens. Imagine like the size and shape of poker chips, okay? And your tokens are either going to be rainbow or glitter. So the system we're using is called token pull. Well, it's very creative naming, I know. But when you come to a moment where you're not sure whether or not something will work out, you're going to let the tokens decide. Or rather, your Lord Mayor, your LM, if you will, who is running the game, narrating the game, keeping track of everything, and potentially playing all the NPCs in the game. That's non-player characters, for anyone who's new. Your LM is going to decide how many tokens you need to pull to determine whether or not your action works. So maybe you want to flirt with the bartender. You've got to describe how you're going to do that. Again, this is storytelling. Are you going to be clever about it? Well, then you better hope you pull a rainbow token. Do you want to be sexy about it? Well, then you better hope you pull a glitter token, because they mean different things. Now, I will make videos, and obviously I am currently in the act of writing all of this stuff out as a, like, purchasable booklet with all of the text you need to understand everything and play the game. This is just kind of an intro video to answer some of the most basic questions and get everybody on board, as it were. Thank you so much, my friends. Thanks for being here. Thanks for your support, and thanks for believing in all of the ridiculous things that I do and that all of the angels do. We love you very much.